This is the Padua Podcast Network.
And the way you start this treadmill is to press the stop button.
Running a Fever, episode 192. Special Biometrics Fasting Calorie Burn Weekend.
Well, welcome to Running a Fever. I am coming to you recording at the gym of Running a Fever World Headquarters. And the reason I'm here, and I usually would be doing video now, but I don't know, it's just really cramped the way things are set up right now, and so unfortunately couldn't do that. At some point, we're gonna have the whole studio gym thing worked out, but for now, just audio today. And the only reason I'm doing this particular episode is because I wanted to give you an update on what's going on this weekend, because it seems to be very interesting in terms of a health perspective. So I'm on the treadmill now. I'm on my treadmill, which I had a little trouble getting it started, and the way you start this treadmill is to press the stop button. Does that make sense to anybody out there? mail@runningafever.com. Press the stop button in order to start the machine. So, but there's only 3 buttons. There's an up button, a down button, and a stop button. Although actually I think what I did was I pressed the speed button and it went faster. It was already set on like 1 mile an hour. So 1 mile an hour seems to be a running speed, but whatever. The thing is, I'm here because normally I need to burn some calories, and I don't even have my workout gear on, which would have made it a more interesting video, I guess. I'm in my street clothes pretty much, although I do have my walking shoes on and a t-shirt. I'm not really too streety right now. I'm gonna wash these jeans today anyway, so I thought I would just get on in the clothes I was wearing. Normally a weekend would be a much lower calorie burn for me, unless I was going on a hike or a long walk or something. Normally my step count goes down, way down to, somewhere between 1 and 2,000, maybe even less than 1,000 some days. So I needed to be sure and get some calorie burn today. Why? Because Monday is Biometrics Day, and I had biometrics last year, and I did podcast about that while I was doing it. I won't do that again this year because it's pretty much the same show, but I thought I would do a little anticipatory thing to tell you how I'm preparing for it. As you know, I've gained some weight this year, and I'm really close to where I was the same time last year in terms of a few things. So in other words, I'm pretty close on this. I had a little more breathing room last time. So we have to get to 29.9 BMI. BMI is just your height divided by your weight squared, or your weight divided by your height squared. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's just based on height and weight. So my BMI as of this morning is 30.6. The number I have to get to is 29.9. So, if it was impossible, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing this weekend. If I had more room one way or the other, but because it's so close, I figure I can do a little acrobatics this weekend. Not literally acrobatics, but I can, make enough progress maybe to get to slide by. The other option, of course, is the so-called waist measurement, which they take right at your belly button. And as a man, I have to be 37. Women, I think 35 is the number. 37 inches around the belly button area. And I'm currently somewhere between 37 and 38. So either one of those could get me by on Monday morning at 6:15. So I am fasting, have my last meal until Monday morning. This morning I had sausage, 2 sausage patties. It's pretty much it, 230 calories, 260 calories. I did not, as is my custom, have a cheat meal on Friday because I knew that would just blow everything out. So if I pass the biometrics, I will probably have pizza on on Monday night. That will probably be what will happen. If I don't, then I probably won't, because next weekend I'm going out of town and I'm probably not going to be able to maintain any sort of good diet there. So I'm doing that. I'm doing a fast for a couple of days in order to see if I can get by. And I need to also burn some calories in an attempt to lose some more fat so that either my waist or my weight will reduce enough to get me by on this biometrics screening. So that's what's going on. This is a special weekend, and then usually I wouldn't be worried about getting my steps in on the weekend. I usually wouldn't get as many. But I am, and this weekend today, in addition to going out to one of my regular breakfasts with one of my friends, also I've been usually what I do on Saturday is podcast production work. I actually recorded a studio podcast this morning, which was about over 50 supplements for the over 50 crowd, as they say. And I've been spending the rest of the day producing podcasts. I not only produced my own Running a Fever podcast, but I also produced 2 other ones. Truth of the Spirit with Patty Bruner and Thriving in the Trenches with Becky Carter. And those are both on the same Padua Podcast Network that Running a Fever is on. And you can find out all about all of that stuff and the network itself at PaduaPodcastNetwork.com. And, that's what I'm doing, which is pretty cool. My friend Robert came over for a while. I've done some videos this week, and so I've got plenty of production work to do. That is pretty much what I've done today. But I did go out to a bookstore. I like books. I bought a few books at the used bookstore. I like to you have to keep going back because they have different things every time. So, but I got a little bit of walking in there, and that plus what I've been doing for the last 9 minutes has got me up to 4,600 steps. I don't know if I'm going to go long enough to get 10,000 steps today, but I had to get some steps in. And because I don't really like the treadmill. Here's another reason that I'm on the treadmill right now. I'm fasting, which means I don't have enough. And being hungry, ironically, once I start fasting, I'm not necessarily that hungry feeling, I guess, because my body is adjusting to the fact that I'm not having food. I don't know. The body's an amazing machine. But because I'm not getting any nutrition, I didn't want to go out, be out on the trail, miles away from my car or anything, and then be malnourished and dehydrated and not, and get dizzy or something where it would just be a real struggle to return home. Another reason is I'm on a glorious on-call weekend, which means I have to be close to a computer and a phone at all times. So that's other reasons why I'm on the good old treadmill here in Running a Fever World Headquarters. So I'm sure I will be giving you the results of the biometrics screening, even if I don't do a podcast as I'm getting the screening. There is another aspect to it this year, which added another $10 to the benefit or penalty, depending on how you look at it. I think it's a penalty because I don't think they're going to add $10 to my paycheck just because I did this, but they won't charge me $10. So it is a penalty. But the additional factor is blood glucose. And I did get a report on that last year. I don't know what it was, but I did get a report on it. They were reporting last year, but not actually taking any sort of action on it. But anyway, I'm sure in the next podcast I record out on the trail, or probably won't talk about it in the video podcast like I have been. I've done a couple of those recently. But next time I'm on the trail, I'm sure I'm going to tell you the results, and hopefully it'll be good, and hopefully I'll be enjoying a cheap meal on Monday night. So anyway, that's my update for a special weekend here in the gym at Running Fever World headquarters. So, till next time, if you got the fever, keep it. If you don't have it, catch it. And I will talk to you next time on Running Fever.